Hey guys, I am Autist and Autistic explaining the autistic brain, and today we're going to be looking at this article. Here's the article.
Voiceover: Mother pleads guilty to abandoning 5-year-old nonverbal son with autism.
First thing is with the title. Why do they gotta say with autism? But I'll disregard that.
Cincinnati WXIX/Gray News, an Indiana woman pleaded guilty to child endangerment Monday for abandoning her 5-year-old nonverbal son with autism in Coleraine Township, Ohio, earlier this year.
Heather Adkins, 33, was indicted in March on kidnapping and endangering children charges that could have put her in prison for a maximum of 11 years. But now, in exchange for the plea deal, the kidnapping charge was dropped and she faces a sentence of 5 years probation to 3 years in prison.
I don't think she should have gotten a plea deal. She abandoned her autistic son, and the court says, okay, here's the plea deal. Not right. That is not right. But regardless, let's reluctantly continue.
She is scheduled to be sentenced at 8:30 a.m. on September 28 before Hamilton County Common Pleas Court Judge Jennifer Branch. Adkins drove from Indiana to Tennessee in February to drop off 2 of her 3 children with a friend and then abandoned her son on the way back in Coleraine Township. According to Hamilton County Prosecutor Joe Dieters, she drove to Copper Creek Lane on February 17 and basically kicked the kid out of the car, Dieters has said. The boy was left in the pouring rain on a cold night on a road without sidewalks, according to Dieters.
Passing motorists spotted the soaking wet child and called 911 around 9 p.m., according to court documents and recordings of 911 calls.
It's heartbreaking, Dieters said back in March when Atkins was indicted, to imagine what this nonverbal, 5-year-old boy went through. I'm certain he was confused and hurt. His mother, being the person with whom he totally depended upon, dumps him on a dangerous road in the pouring rain to fend for himself, 70 miles from his home.
I think it's really horrible that he was left alone on a busy road. I think that this lady should be in prison for a lot more time than she's possibly gonna get.
Once the boy was in the care of the police, they shared his photo with WXIX and other media, asking for help to find his family.
Shelbyville, residents saw the photos and recognized the child as Martin Thomas Atkins. The boy's mother was arrested in Kentucky 2 days later on an unrelated outstanding warrant.
She initially claimed in a jailhouse interview that she left her son with a friend and did not abandon him. I didn't. That's why he was left there, and I'm to go back there, so he knows that I never left him. It's just going to take a long time for him to trust me again and for me to trust myself as well, she said.
Her story changed several times as she spoke with WXIX from the jail in Georgetown on February 20th. She even claimed at one point she never left him in Coleraine Township, saying he was with his brothers at her friend's house in Tennessee. Adkins eventually admitted she left her son alone. No, I didn't leave him with anyone. I knew I would be forgiven. It would take a long time. I just had to be able to get rid of one last demon. All the burdens that I've carried for all these years that were never meant to be mine.
Okay guys, that's the article. I just want to give my final thoughts on this article before I end this video. My final thoughts are that this lady should be in prison for the rest of her life. You can see that right here, she tries to defer. She tries to defer and say, no. She literally says that in time okay, I'll just play it again, guys. I'll play it again. Give me a minute.
Her story changed several times as she spoke with WXIX from the jail in Georgetown on February 20th. She even claimed at one point she never left him in Coleraine Township, saying he was with his brothers at her friend's house in Tennessee. Adkins eventually admitted she left her son alone. "No, I didn't leave him with anyone. I knew I would be forgiven. It would take a long time. I just had to be able to get rid of one last demon. All the burdens that I've carried for all these years that were never meant to be mine."
So when I was listening to the recording, I noticed that she says, I just had to be able to get rid of one last demon, all the burdens that I've... Hold on.
Voiceover on. No, I didn't leave him with anyone. I knew I would be forgiven. It would take a long time. I just had to be able to get rid of one last demon. All the burdens that I've carried for all these years. Assistive.
There we go.
Voiceover off.
I just had to be able to get rid of one last demon, all the burdens that I've carried for all these years that were never meant to be mine. Is she meaning her son's autism and the fact that he's autistic? And it just says copyright WXIX down here, but anyway. So yeah, is she saying that is she saying that her son's autism is a burden? Is she referring to that as a demon? I guess we will never know. Okay, so that's the video. The next article will be in its own video because this video is already a few minutes long, quite long. So I don't want to make a really long video. So I do want to keep this video kind of short. So yeah, that will be in the next video done tomorrow on Sunday, because this video is actually not out on Friday because I was busy on Friday. Anyway, remember to like, subscribe, and to turn on that notification bell so you will never miss an upload from me. I will see you guys in part 2 of this video.